no one wants to hear in a bar, I swear to God. Does anybody know who Howard Zinn is? Howard Zinn passed away earlier this year, and I'd really like to thank Howard Zinn. He was a historian and social activist who taught me to fucking read. In all honesty, like, this guy taught me to read history, and like, it was his books that got me pumping in my fucking head. And let me just say this real quick as possible, is that in Richmond, Virginia, if you drive I-95, you are driving over a slave burial ground. If you look next to I-95, there's a parking lot owned by Virginia Commonwealth University, and below it there are slaves buried. I abhor that. I think it's trifling, and I think it's fucked up that there's nothing that represents the people who are poor and the people who got calloused hands and broke their fucking backs to make people like Robert E. Lee and Jeff Davis and fucking all the others who have these enormous fucking monuments filthy fucking rich. I'd like to thank Howard Zinn for turning me on to alternative forms of reading history. I thank him for this song. And I'd love to see a monument in Richmond, Virginia to Nat Turner, Elizabeth Van Lew, and I'm going to put a monument on the parking lot owned by Virginia Commonwealth University, whether I go to fucking jail for it or not, to Gabriel Prosser. Does anyone know the name Gabriel Prosser? My conscience says he's the one that history missed. A blacksmith by trade up in Brookfield Plantation, a Henrico County slave born to owner Thomas. If you listen closely, you'll hear the words perfect. The Caribbean uprising caught fire in this land. Up and down the James River, the Monkey and Appomattox, tobacco soil gone bad, a forward movement for the blacks. 9 years before, down in Santo Domingo, slaves refused to submit and took the right of all men. Virginia whites got nervous and armed more militias as blacks inspired plotted and passed on their plans. Mr. Prosser's Gabriel was smart as he was strong, but had a keloid scars that might have known right and wrong. Voted General at 24 in the year of 1800, honored by the hymns and wailing of his fellow slaves. Now does anyone know the name Gabriel Prosser? My conscience says he's the one that history missed. A blacksmith by trade up in Brookfield Plantation, a Henrico County slave born to owner Thomas. It was on an August night outside of Richmond, Virginia. Gabriel's men gathered as their owners they slept. Some would burn city streets to attract residents and masters, while others took the capital to free convicts. Well, the whites, they knew nothing, never seen what could hit them. Nothing like this could happen with their carefree black men. But think about freedom, now think about slavery. Blacks armed themselves with muskets, homemade bayonets. With a white flag on the Capitol, all blacks they would rise. White spared, we'd all losing on. You're a coward if you own men for profit and greed. You're the coward of all, and for all you must bleed. Now does anyone know the name Gabriel Prosser? My conscience says he's the one that history missed. A blacksmith by trade up in Brookfield Plantation, a Henrico County slave born to owner Thomas. Pharaoh and Tom ratted out Gabriel Prosser. Their owner was Mosby, a neighbor of him. They say the sky seems seas of rain and lightning. On the night of August 30th, one could see nor stand. The militias let loose to hunt Gabriel Prosser, who took to the swamps as they imprisoned his men. Flagged a boat whose captain was a Methodist preacher, but a traitor slave turned him in the end. They hung Gabriel down, they brought him 15th Street. Lord, he would not give a word up on his men. But he took that news and he took it with honor. He's buried beneath parked cars now and pavement. There's no monument, there's no stone here to see him, just black asphalt flanked by high-rise hospital chains. If I had it my way, we'd see memorials climbing to a true and honest hero, Prosser Gabriel. Now does anyone know the name Gabriel Prosser? My conscience says he's the one that history missed. A blacksmith by trade up in Brookfield Plantation, a Henrico County slave born under Tommy.